Hey everyone, sorry I haven't made a video in the past few weeks. I've just been super busy with the TradeBuddy community and with just practicing and perfecting my own trades. As you guys know, for the past few weeks we had an explosive market with all the cannabis stocks going crazy, but those have started to die down now, and now we're having signs, well, not signs, we're having a massive correction in the overall market. And you can see here on the front page of CNBC, everything is panic. You can see all of the main headlines are talking about this massive sell-off, and there's rumors of this like being the end of the bull market and so forth. But you know, if you're a consistent trader and you have your own trading niche, what the overall market, it doesn't matter at all, and that's going to be the main focus of today. I mean, like the past 2 days, the SPY has dropped a ton. You can see here on the hourly chart, we dove off of a cliff all the way up, like as high as the 290s, and hit a low of underneath 270. Not underneath, right above 270. So that's a very big drop in just 2 days, and that causes a lot of panic. And what that also usually does is that it removes trading volume away from the small cap world and over to futures, options, and ETFs. And that's why for the past few days, we haven't really been seeing much follow through at all. Like the top stocks today, OGEN had a very rough morning, or never mind, not this one. What was it? It was the specs. SPEX had a very rough morning. This was just a pure all-day fader, and for the past few days it's been very short biased. We've seen lots of all-day faders. SPEX is a good example. ASTC is a good example. Yesterday, all-day fader, and we've just been kind of seeing this right now. So times like this are when you're really tested as a trader, especially like when market environments like this happen right after we have a massive hot industry explode like cannabis stocks. And you have to understand that when there are no opportunities, you cannot force it. When there are no opportunities, scale back your size and really just hone back in on what made you profitable in the first place. You don't need to overtrade. You don't need to be super aggressive. The hot times are gone. Overall, the cannabis market is dying off. We may have that recover in the next few days. Who knows? But right now, we do know that there is just not that much volume in the small cap market right now. So we have to stay very disciplined. Always make a plan, and only make plans around stocks that fit your specific criteria. So with that being said, what did I trade today? I did not trade SPEX, and the main reason why is because it wasn't part of my plan. I didn't really like the gap up on it. It has a really bad daily chart. No real breakout whatsoever. Had a massive gap here. It just looked like it wasn't going to have a great day. If you look back in the history of it, you can see we did the same thing here. Had this massive gap up, and then it just failed right back on down. It didn't become a multi-day runner. And why do I want to put my money towards a play that has no chance of being a multi-day runner? I want to have a stock that explodes and the entire trend is up. You know, I don't want to have a stock where the history has no big spikes whatsoever, and it doesn't give me a lot of confidence to trade it. So SPEX, I didn't trade it at all, and you can see it had a very nice run up in pre-market, but then right at market open, it just fell flat on its face. Massive red candles at the open. That's pure weakness. I don't want to trade a stock that is having massive like breakdowns and panics. I want to trade stocks that have massive morning spikes, which means that right when I like have this type of chart action, I don't want to touch this at all, because what this usually like becomes into is an all-day fader. You can see SPEX did this one, NVCN yesterday, same exact thing, almost the same exact chart pattern that we see here. Like these two are almost the exact same. So NVCN had great news, had a massive rally in pre-market. You can see this went almost 100% in the pre-market. It just ran up like mad. But then at market open, you can see it had this massive red candle, and then all day it just faded. It's a easy pattern to spot, all day fader, and if you have the shares to short, then it's a massive payday for you. All right, now that we have those out of the way, the all day faders, I do want to bring up the one stock that I was watching and the one that I made a plan to trade. So here's the TradeBuddy community. This is the chat room service that I run. And this is essentially where I have my plans listed out every single day. This is exactly where I am every single market open and pre-market too. And you can see right here, I listed that it looked like a very slow day, and I was even looking at like taking the day off. Here's the one play that I was watching, PURA. It was a very low price play, but it has a very nice daily chart potential breakout, just over $10, and they had really good news, mainly because they have the cannabis drink news, which is exactly why NBEV spiked up like crazy, which went from like $2 to $6. That's what NBEV did. And IGC had the same type of news where they were making the cannabis drinks. So now we have over here the PURA, which had the same exact news, had a very nice breakout on the daily chart. It was in a hot sector, and it was like a pattern that was a part of my plan. So this is the only stock I really wanted to trade, and this is why it's so important that the overall market, it doesn't matter what the overall market does if you stick to your niche and you stick to what works for you. And what I mean by that is that even though the SPY has tanked for the past few days, I have been profitable for the past few days. Not insanely profitable, not like as much as we were making like a week and a half ago, but I'm still being consistent. I'm sticking to my plan, and I'm sticking to my niche. And essentially, if you just do that and you don't worry about what the overall market does, you will be safe in times of weakness in the overall market. So you will be safe in bear markets. It does not matter as long as you stick to your niche and you use your plans and your A plus chart patterns and strategies, then you will be consistently profitable. There's no question about it. It's just the fact of staying disciplined. Lots of people that I know on Twitter and Instagram lost money today, and the main reason why is because they deviated from their plan, trying to do options and futures and ETFs, when the whole reason why they made money in the first place was trading penny stocks. So if you deviate from what makes you money in the first place, especially when you're not prepared to do so, you're gonna get taught by the market a very strong lesson. Never deviate away on what your trading niche is. On PURA, it was a perfect chart pattern. Let me just break this down real fast. Essentially, we had an obvious breakout level over like $9.5 and $10. You can see if we use a line chart, overall the $9 area is where the big breakout happened. However, you could have used the large mental number of the 10 cents as your breakout guide. And my plan was not to buy the initial breakout. I don't want to buy the initial morning spike because this is an OTC. One of the main rules when trading OTC stocks is that you have to buy the confirmation. So you can see here on PURA, we had a nice run up in the morning. It went up about 12-13 cents, from 9 cents up to like 11.5 cents, and then it pulled back, and look where it held. It held $10. Previous resistance becomes new support, so you can buy that new support and sell it into the spike. This would have been a very, very, very nice gain here. You can see this went 28% within half an hour. Eventually, it did go even higher, but that doesn't matter. You have to just lock in those nice consistent gains, and making that much money in half an hour is very good money. And you can see if we use the line chart, previous resistance held as support, and not only was it the nice round number of $10, we also overall held VWAP. I know it's not perfect, but trading isn't an exact science, and you have to understand that you have to give it some room. But overall, it was holding VWAP. Like the bodies of the candle were overall hovering around VWAP, and that's the confirmation of the bounce. Essentially, what you would do here is you have to make the plan prior to the trade, understand that you want to use the 10-cent area as your risk, and you leave orders here around this 10-cent area, even like prior to it dipping back down. Once you see the initial breakout, you have to place your orders down here waiting, because you don't know if it's going to reach down there. But if it does, you have a very good entry and a very low risk play. Now you have no idea, like when you're buying this stock, you don't really like know what's going to happen. You never know when support is going to hold, but that's part of trading. You have to take that risk, and you have to understand that, hey, you can lose. But the main thing is that you have a plan in place with a good risk and reward ratio, so that over time, the more trades you take, you're going to be profitable in the long run. So PURA was the only stock I wanted like to really play, and that's the one that did the best today. So don't worry about the overall market. It's not too big of a deal quite yet. Like a pullback of around like 3.5%. It's not the end of the world. Make sure that you trade your niche and you stick to your niche. And with that being said, I just want to make sure that you guys know that I am on Twitter. I have tweets out every single day, like throughout the market open. So if you want like to keep up with me on that, you can follow me on Twitter. And I also have an Instagram account. Links are down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, and hit the subscribe button. Like to be notified on future videos. If you want like to be a part of the TradeBuddy community and join the TradeBuddy chat room, just make sure that you check out the information down below for that. With that being said, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.